going on, guys? It's your boy Sammy, aka Phoenix Hot Boy, and I'm sitting here with genuinely one of the most interesting people I've ever met in my life, man. Someone who takes very good care of me, has his toes dipped in a little bit of everything, and someone I find to be a great fucking time. So without further ado, who am I sitting with?
My name's Ray Syron. Great to meet you guys.
Heck yeah. Ray, dude, what is your story, brother? Where do we even start, man? Where are you from?
I'm a masshole, so born and raised in Massachusetts. Grew up on a little island northeast of Boston.
So sick.
Yeah, I grew up racing mountain bikes and sailboats and just fucking... My parents are artists, dirty hippies, so in case you couldn't tell.
Dude, yeah, because your dad's the man. I follow your dad on Instagram.
Dude, does some really sick stuff, yeah.
Heck yeah, that's definitely something I want to get into, but I will have to ask this right now. Sailboats, brother. You race sailboats?
Yeah, yep. So it's like 13-foot boats. It's like a two-man crew. Did like Junior Olympics, the whole shebang. So.
What? Dude, that's so sick. You really are the most interesting man in the world, dude.
I just done a lot of shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's like a lot of people get their ADHD medicated, and my parents just put me outside.
Yeah, as they should.
Yeah,
they did it the right way.
Yeah, you can use it as your superpower if you look at it the right way, right?
Hell yeah, dude.
So it's just, still the same thing. I just have like, I see something, I'm like, well, we could try that. We could check that out. Oh, what do we do there? How do we do this? So, I mean, that's how we met. Harley shit, right?
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's actually a pretty funny story in itself too, through a mutual connection, and
yeah.
Not really much of a connection anymore, and. But we created a great connection out of it, and honestly, I'd like to think we have a great friendship too. I'm very grateful for you, man. You've taken very good care of me, and I'm very thankful for everything you do for me, dude.
Always, dude. Yeah. That was super fun. Harleys have been a really fun creative outlet for me for sure.
Dude, yeah, you have like one of the hardest FXRs around.
Thanks, dude. Yeah.
I fucking love it.
It's sick. I fucking love bikes, and I feel like the FXR or not just FXRs, but Harleys in general are like the poor man muscle car. It's got the gusto, it's got all of the aesthetics and like heart of a muscle car. But the sickest thing about a Harley is like the dopest one in the world is like you can have a $10,000 bike that's got all the love poured into it next to a $100,000 bike, and then $10,000 bike cooler.
Way cooler, dude.
Yeah. So it's like it's one of those things where you can really be yourself and be super creative and do all these really unique things with it, and it shows. Every
single time, dude. I was on the way here, and we're in the nearby the Sunny Slope area. There's a lot of slope heads. At least that's where I live. So I'm rolling through, and I'm on my way here, and I'm like, golly, dude, this dude pulled out on a hardtail shovel head with a water bottle strapped to the frame. Bandana on, kickstart only, and in my head I was like, dude, that's way cooler than like half the show bikes I know of.
So sick.
Just getting it down the road, he's all smashing, like, just an old dude. I honestly think I know the guy. I think he's one of my dad's good friends. His name's legitimately Dirty. Durdee, and that's his birth name. So parents set him up for failure.
What an icon.
He is an icon, dude. He's in a Brock band and shit. Dude, he sings heavy metal.
Give me his number, dude. He's our neighbor. You gotta hang out.
You might want to hang out with the guy.
For sure.
So what's the scoop on mountain bikes, dude? I recently found out how deep you are into it, and dude, you really do some stuff, man.
Yeah, mountain bike was my life for a long time. So I started racing internationally when I was like 16. Started doing like World Cups, which is like, the NFL of bikes, right? But it's just like international travel with that shit. I race downhill primarily, so that's like kind of like downhill skiing, one person on course at a time, fastest time wins. But instead of just going through gates, you're like in the woods, down rocks and roots and mud and all that shit. So that was super fun, and it definitely like totally drove my mentality of just like every kid does team sports growing up, and I was like a bully because I'd be like, yo, you suck. Why are you on our fucking team?
Yeah,
you made us lose. What the fuck are we doing, right? And then when I realized that I could do individual sports and I didn't have to count on anyone else and it was all up to me, like my whole life is really just based on like extreme ownership, right? And it's like, if I'm the only one accountable for it, like the wins are greater, the losses are learning. It's not like there's no cop-outs. It's all fucking internalized. So that mountain biking really, really shaped my life and like who I am and definitely my work ethic. It took me to so many amazing places. And it was always funny growing up. Super small town, graduating class of like less than 70 kids.
Wow, that's crazy.
And a lot of people don't leave the island. And that's sick, and there's an amazing fishing culture there and tight community and all these, generational families. But I was always like, yo, I gotta go. Like, I gotta get out. And
gotta peace out.
Yeah, for sure. And so just like all of my best friends growing up lived in all different states, but every weekend, oh, we're all racing in Vermont this weekend. Oh, we're all racing here, right? You cruise over. Oh, we all met up in Europe, right? We're all over here. So it was really cool exploring the world that way, and especially later in life, racing was like it kind of fucked me up for travel because you would go there and you'd meet the coolest locals, and then like my whole thing was I was always stay either before or after the race and just hang out with the locals because they'd always be like, yo, I got to show you this, I got to bring you here. So I got to go to all these amazing countries and then get like the ultimate locals tour. So someone's like, hey, this is the best food. Hey, this is the best beach. Hey, this is the best club, like whatever it is. And so now, like when I see people just go to a place and do touristy shit, I'm like, can we not? Like let's like day one, I'm always looking for a loc and being like, hey, this guy looks cool. Let's chat with him. Let's figure out what's actually going on.
Let's see what the real scene is here.
For sure, yeah. I mean, like imagine if you came to Phoenix, you'd do the old town thing, right? And then you'd be like, oh, this place is hot as fuck, right? But you wouldn't realize how much beauty there is around it and all of the, in nooks and crannies that make it what it is.
100%, dude.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that because I do essentially the same thing on every bike trip, dude. I'll either go a day before and like have at least a day to kick it, or like a day after, and I've got to just do some of the craziest things from it. Like for example, one time I went to San Francisco, and my buddy, it was a crazy freak accident trip, dude. My buddy ended up breaking down in his truck that we took out there, and so we stayed an extra week.
Sick.
And
I love that.
Exactly, dude. And we were with my buddy who's a San Francisco local, dude, and I got to do like the coolest things ever and get to really experience it. Everybody's like, San Fran's this, San Fran's that. I'm like, dude, but if you really know what the deal is, it's gangster.
100%. Yeah, I was dating a chick from SF for a minute, and like, same thing when I was living in Tahoe. I was like, dude, fuck the Bajans, fuck all that shit. Like, I'm not about it. These people are kooks. And then I went down there, and I remember like the first night we were like gonna go partying, and I was like gonna slam my beer, and they're like, you can just walk with it. I'm like, I can just walk down the street with a beer, and they're like, yeah, you can just. I'm like, seriously? I'm like, oh, next you're gonna tell me I can smoke a doobie on the street, and they're like, no, you can. I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, I could get fucking used to this, right? And like, I think like the best, like the quintessential San Francisco. I was sitting in this breakfast spot right on Market Street, like busy ass street, upscale. And I see this chick, she's wearing like cook clothing, right? Young African-American woman, she sits on this fire hydrant right out front, splits open a blunt, drops the guts on the ground, starts twisting up, right? Not even 2 minutes later, this middle-aged white woman wearing like a community cleanup t-shirt walks up and just picks up the guts and puts it in her bag and smiles at her and just walks off. I'm like, bro, what? I'm like, where are we living right now? I'm like, this
Crazy.
is, this is wild. So that to me is San Francisco in a nutshell. It's like, there's like this like uppity edge to it, but then you can also, it has this third world edge. Like there's no chase for motorcycles. Like you can go anywhere at any time, go up and down any one way, like do whatever the fuck you want.
Actually just changed.
Sweet, no way.
Yep. Now they'll chase you with drones home.
Fuck a drone.
Yeah,
dude.
fuck a drone, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that just happened, dude. I got a lot of friends who are still out there, so I'll toss that in there real quick. That just changed, and now they'll charge you with everything because the mayor changed. For the last like 8 years, they had an anti-government mayor.
Yeah, we love that.
Yeah, we love that. It was fantastic.
Yeah, feds,
I had a great time.
Sign me up.
Fuck them, dude. You're a 3-letter agency. I do not fuck with you
I got
at
a 3-letter name, but I don't fuck with the 3-letter agencies.
Yes, exactly. Oh my god, dude. On another note, man, you own a company out here that's pretty, like, I mean, the sense of like large, it really is making its way, and it's got a great name, and especially the sense of the shop Ramjet. And you happen to also sponsor me, dude. Force Movement is by far what I think is the best riser in the game.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, that was a super fun passion project. So shout out Kurtz. I had this homie, he brought me in town. Honestly, he's the reason I came to the Valley. So
Reno, dude.
Yeah, I was in Tahoe for a minute, and I launched a cannabis greeting card company. So we were like Hallmark cards.
That's sick.
For weed stores.
I think he mentioned that to me too way back when I was working for him.
Yeah, so like it was like a greeting cards or whatever, but it held a pre-roll. So I moved down here to be closer to the investors and to the crew, and every time I flew in, Kurtz has like an unbelievable collection of FXRs.
Yeah, he does.
Dude, like beautiful fucking bikes. And every time I come into town, he'd let me mob around on them to bop around. And then when I moved here, I just kept taking them home from the office. And he's like, yo, bring my bike back. And I just go and I just swap it for another one and he's like, no, bring my fucking bike backs. And then one day he called me and was like, hey, I bought you a Dyna. You owe me $5,000. Bring me my fucking FXR back. I'm like, cool, sounds good. So
is it the silver one?
No, it was that. It was Brandon from Ramjet, Brandon Prager. he had this bitchin' blue Dyna. It was fully built out. It was like a sick stunt bike. But Kurtz bought it off of him and gave it to me. Well, I had to buy it off him. But he was like, no, this is your bike, right? So that got me in the game. And I literally rode it straight from his house to Ramjet. I pulled in and I was like, hey, whose bike is this, right? And Brent's like, oh, that was mine. And it's like, can we be boys? Because like I know nothing about Harleys. Like I'm like, this is sick, but I know nothing about this shit. Like I know two wheels, I can ride the piss out of it, but like I don't know anything past that, right? So instantly became fast friends. He got me tied in with Tony, owner of Ramjet. Like the Ramjet boys have fucking put me on. Those guys are awesome.
Love those dudes. Good, great dudes.
The best dudes. Honestly, so sick. Tony's like a brother. Like I couldn't ask for a better human to be around. But yeah, so then we started just mobbing Harleys all the time, and we sold a canvas company, and Kurtz was like, yo, let's make a Harley part. And so I do graphic design, industrial design, engineering, all that shit. And he was like, hey, the most like universal part on a bike is a riser. And again, I don't know anything about Harley, so I'm like, okay, sure, right? And I've broken my wrists probably 20 times. Mm-hmm. My shit's fucked. And so I'd be going on rides with these guys, and I get off the bike, and there's these 60-year-olds like, I feel fine. I'm like, are your hands numb? They're like, no, are yours? I'm like, no, no, I'm fine, right?
I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm fine. It's cool. So he wanted to make a riser, but do some sort of technology in it. So we figured out a way that we could do polyurethane bushings in it to reduce vibration damping, or reduce vibration through damping. So, and like as far as mountain biking, this was like kind of an old school way of going about it through, because I designed mountain bike parts and ran mountain bike companies and stuff like that. But again, like I had just come from out of the box, so all of my ideas were out of the box, right? And it was so funny, dude. I would just go into Ramjet and I'd be like, hey, why is this like this? And they'd be like, I don't know, that's just the way it is. I'm like, can we do it like this? And they're like, well, no one does it like that. I'm like, okay, well, is there a reason why? You know what I mean? They're like, I don't know. I don't think so. So it's been fun. It's been like a super fun, thinking experiment and like game for me to get into it and be like, oh, how do we do this? How do we do that? And so, yeah, that's how Force came about. And and Kurt's got me linked up with you because I was like, hey, if we're going to go somewhere, we need riders. So you and Derek Larson are like studs in the scene. You guys are such good people. And I mean, no matter what you do, it's about the people. 100%. So it's like you can be a great rider, but if you're a cunt, like you're out.
Get the fuck out.
You're out
every single time.
Yeah. So I'm all about supporting really good people. And instantly when I met you guys, I was like, this is the crew. Like, this is about it. You tested some of the early prototypes for us. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, the rest is history. So I guess, yeah, Force is fun because I haven't done much past the riser. I think I designed close to like 30 parts to build out the line. And since then, my ADHD has just gone haywire. So, got a bunch of other companies launched since then and doing all these other things, but we'll come back around and it'll get a bunch of love.
And it's still active. You guys, you're still selling risers regularly, and it's actually funny. I was driving down the road the other day. It had a Sportster 48, but it was cool. Like, it was pretty badass. And I see he's got the gauge mount Force risers.
Hell yeah. And
I got my bike in the back. It's late at night. I just left the lot, and I'm looking over, and I'm like, hey, dude. I'm like, nice risers, bro. And he was like, you know what these are? And I was like, yeah, brother, I know what they are very well. And he's like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, bro, I ride for him. And he's like, yeah, right.
Yeah,
and took off. Man. But it was very cool because it was an instance where we're in a whole different realm. We're in the streets. Like, we're literally driving on the road, and I run across a dude, and he's running your product that I swear by, I stand by. I tell everybody else I swear by it because, I mean, dude, you saved vibration. Anytime I ride somebody else's bike now, it's just like, here, you go ahead and take that back. Like, I'm good.
And I'm so jaded to it because all my bikes have them on it, so I don't think about it now. But I'll hop on someone's bike, I'm like, yo, does your shit always feel like this? And dude, I think the best representation was it, because we have multiple stiffnesses in the polymers. Mm-hmm. And I put a set on Tony May's bike from Ramjet. This bitchin' 124, spicy as heck.
Super spicy.
FXR, dude, this thing's bad. And we threw a set on there, but he was like, hey, I don't want any movement in my steering. Like, I want it like stiff. And I was trying to tell him, I don't think the softs are that way, but I'm not a teller, I'm a shower, right? Yeah. Like, hey, no, ride it. Like, I'm not going to tell you how to think. I want you to come to the conclusion yourself. So put a stiff set in there, which rides essentially like a fixed riser, right? Mm. And he was mobbing the bike for a bit, and he was like, yeah, they look cool. Like, yeah, they perform like a normal rider, right on. And then we ended up swapping him for a set of pullbacks a little bit later, and I just put the softest ones in there. And we were supposed to do a little photo shoot, and we sent him up to Bartlett Lake, but push comes to shove, we were missing daylight, whatever, so we basically just sent him up there on a rip. And so he never gets to ride his bikes. He's got, family and kids. And
big time guy, dude. Busy dude.
Big family guy. And so he got a chance to just like mob up there. And he called me when he got to the lake. And he was like, yo, did you fuck with my foot pegs? And I was like, what? And he was like, did you fuck? He's like, my feet are fucking vibrating like a motherfucker. And I was like, no, I didn't touch your foot pegs, but I put soft polymers in your bars. And it was like he was so used to feeling vibration in his hands and his feet, he didn't even notice his feet, right? So as soon as he put it on, he was like, oh my God, I only feel it in my feet now. Which I'm like, boom, right? Like a dude who like lives and breathes motorcycles, that to me, I was like, all right, cool, my job here is done. Like, it works, right? Because when you're creating something, you're designing something, there's like going from the screen to reality is one big thing, but then going from reality to someone's hands is always like even more, right? Because you always have a personal attachment to it because you develop it, but like seeing someone else ingest it, someone else feel it, someone else enjoy it, you're like, oh, sick. Like, oh, okay.
You did the job.
Yeah, it works, right? And like, I think his biggest takeaway was like, I can see my mirrors. He was like, I can go 120 miles an hour and I can look in my mirrors and it's not just, yeah, which was literally something I had never thought of.
That's actually, that is crazy too. I never thought about it. I think about outrun mirrors. So.
I don't run mirrors.
Hell yeah, thug to the bone, baby. Let's roll.
Yeah.
Wow, I never even thought about that. That's wicked.
Yeah. So just like little things, but it's been, Tony and the boys at Ramjet have been so cool with helping develop it. Honestly, Matt Risley from MRI, he helped me with a lot of the finite machining at the end of it. That dude's a wizard for sure, like.
Straight gangster.
Yeah, absolute thug. And like so smart, and like the way, he brought the center stand to the world. That's like his shtick, right? And he's done amazing things with it. And so having someone who's an innovator look at something and like straight up when I went in there, he was like, yeah, this shit ain't gonna work. And I'm like, yes, it will, dude. And he's like, nah, it ain't gonna work. He's like, these are gonna break. I'm like, let's go. So we literally straight up took a come along. We drilled holes in one of his big ass benches, bolted a set of risers to it, put bars in it, or put a steel bar in them, and then put a come along to it and cranked that fucking thing. And we couldn't break the risers. And after that, he was like, I'm on board. Let's go. Because this whole thing was like, hey, I don't know if I trust this. And like, we physically couldn't break one. And like, dude, Frankie from Ramjet.
Yeah.
I watched that dude. I feel really bad because he's a great rider, but he loves to weed it.
Yeah. Shout out Frankie. You got to stop crashing.
Yeah. Rubber side down, bro. And last time I saw him crash, his bars are mangled, the bike's mangled. And I go running over. First thing I check is his risers.
Still good.
Still straight. Straight as an arrow, right? Bars snapped off at the riser. I'm like, okay, this is the type of demolition testing I'm looking for, right? So, because you can only test so much on a computer in the lab, right? But when you bring to the streets and start throwing that shit around, dump it in the asphalt, that's when you really like,
I can 100% say on my end, dude, I've gone through no sets of bars and 0 sets of risers in the last 2 years of owning the Force Movement risers.
Gotta love
and
it.
I've weeded out. I've gone through gas tanks. I've gone through fenders. I've gone through pretty much a whole.
Go through a couple paint jobs.
Yeah, but pretty much a whole motorcycle. But I've yet to go through a set of risers. I've yet to go through a set of bushings, and that's why I swear forever on your product, man, because you did a fantastic job.
And I appreciate you standing by us because again, like if you didn't like it, I'd be like, no worries, take them off. Yeah. Right? Like again, like I'm not trying to be a fucking snake salesman at all. I'm not trying to be a salesman at all. I just like coming up with stuff.
It's
and
genuine.
Stuff and
that's the biggest thing too. Is in like my opinion, dude. It was such a genuine ordeal. The whole situation. Like, I think I came and picked him up from you while you were still working, and you came and you're like here, and I like popped open the box. Which also, by the way, if you buy a set of Force Movement risers, they come in the coolest box you ever seen in your life. I cracked it open. Was like, dude. Even my dad was like, what the hell? Did you just bring a gun home? And I was like, no, dude, check these bad girls out. And he was like, wow. Like, wow. I was like, dude, wow is the right term.
Well, I got to spill the beans on the box because this was, okay, so I'm a dirty hippie at heart. And I'm like, hey, reduce, reuse, recycle, right? Like, oh, got to be green. But you come to the Harley world with recycled packaging, they're going to be like, all right, faggot, get out.
Get the fuck out
Get
of here.
Get out, right? So I'm like, how do I make this something that is aligned with my morals, but is also aligned with the industry, right? So first things first, every dude I know who owns a Harley owns a gun.
Yeah.
Right. So done deal. So I'm like, okay, direct correlation there. And I'm getting deep into the gun industry now. And that's always been one of my passions. So I'm like, how do we align these things? So instead of running a cardboard box that you just throw away, everything comes in a Pelican case.
Every time.
So everything comes in a gun case. The laser cut foam that your risers come in is removable. So now you can put all of your belongings in there, right? You can put ammo, shit, pistols, whatever you need, right? Goes in that case when you're done. And then instead of instructions, they come with an assembly mat. So just like a firearm would, you have everything you need to know right there on a mat. And now you can bring that to work with you. You can leave it in your garage. You can do all these things. So there's not a piece of the packaging that hasn't been thought about, hasn't been gone through, and isn't usable in your everyday life, right? Because that was my whole goal. Because I'm like, I don't want to just, okay, I'm going to buy these boxes and I'm going to design this cool thing. And then someone looks at it for 30 seconds and goes, okay, and just throws it away.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like every single time, dude. I hate having boxes around myself. So
yeah, totally.
Except that one. I keep that thing. And I have a bunch of stuff in it. It's funny you say that.
For sure. Yeah, and so that was my whole goal there. Because I'm like, how can I be green and be conscious of the things I'm creating and putting out in the world, but also make it sick, right? So,
dude, you're a smart son of a gun, you know that?
I wouldn't go that far, but I do think a lot. Maybe not well, but I just think a lot, right? Again, shout out ADHD, let's go.
Yeah, dude, hell yeah. Dude, what's up with the, and I was going to roll right into that too. What do you got going on in the gun industry, man? I've been seeing you do some really cool things on social media.
Yeah, we got a lot going on. Yeah. So,
if that's something you want to talk about.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
So, yeah, through Force, I brought on a media partner, and then we had worked together in the past on other things, and we started just vibing, and then we're like, yo, let's just start a branding agency, because he creates amazing content and I'm an idea guy. So I'm like, yo, we can make this work, right? So through that, it kind of sparked this relationship. And yeah, we found a home in the firearms space. So yeah, we do branding, consulting, media creation for a bunch of different firearms companies, all the way from like minigun, military grade stuff to manufacturing of, pistols and all sorts of shit. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. It's cool. But yeah, I mean, the branding agency has totally taken off. We do kids club soccer. We just launched a donut shop in Salt Lake City, Chomp Donuts. If you're in Salt Lake or Park City, go check them out.
I got a lot of friends in SLC, and a lot of homies actually watch this. Yeah. SLC and the Ogden area. Go check out Chomp Donuts.
Yeah, go check out Chomp Donuts. It's insane. My buddy Jeff is a genius in the kitchen. Like, the dude is like an unbelievable chef. And he brought me on board for this project. And they were basically like, hey, we have this concept, but like, can you make it sexy? I'm like, we can do sexy.
Always, baby.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
Sexy. So yeah, it's great. It's definitely like the ultimate gig for someone who is as like all over the place as myself, because no day is the same, right? Sometimes I'm designing a product for someone. Sometimes I'm talking to someone about their product and how we can ingest it. And sometimes it's like, hey, I have this product. How do we sell it to these people? I'm like, okay, cool. Let's build the marketing campaign. Let's figure out how to film it. Let's figure out how to implement it and how to do that whole shebang. So it's really full circle entity, but yeah, it's good, man. It's wicked fun.
It's so cool. Like it's cool that you're the, not necessarily a third party person, but you are the person you hit up to make things happen. And a sense of, you have an idea, you're like, let me roll off this guy, and you're the real idea man.
For sure, yeah. And it's always been interesting to me. Like, well, my one caveat with all my clients, I'm like, I got two things. One, I never shut the fuck up. I'm like, I'm gonna tell you exactly what's on my mind, whenever it's on my mind, like no holds bar. I'm gonna tell you everything on my mind, no filter. But the second part of that is, you can't hurt my feelings. You can tell me that is a dumb idea. And I'm like, okay, even when we were doing Force and we were launching all the Harley parts, like, I can't tell you how many dumb ideas Kurt's shut down. I'm like, hey man, what if we did this? And he's like, no one's gonna fuck about it. I'm like,
Nobody's gonna do that.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. So
he's got a good idea, because he's spent a lot of money in this Harley industry for sure. So he's got a good idea.
Yeah, he knows too. I mean, again, the dude's got an eye for it. So
yeah.
And that's what I need. I need people to keep me in my parameters, and but it's super fun with all of the marketing stuff and the branding stuff, because it's like, I get to just explore and create kind of constantly. And then the beauty of having such diverse clients is that it's all over the place. So, it's always enticing for me.
Heck yeah, it always give you something to do. It always give you something to look forward to.
For sure.
And that's super cool, man. That's something, and it's funny because you're like the most behind the scenes dude, but if you knew you, you're a great outgoing human, but you do so much for other people behind the scenes that nobody would ever know.
Yeah, I've definitely done my time.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
I've done my time, and especially in front of the lens, and like I definitely feel more fulfilled building someone else's brand than building my own. One thing that I despise is vanity, right? I really don't do things to be perceived as cool. I don't care what people think about me. I don't dress I'm not like, when I put on shit, I'm not like, oh, this is sick. Like, people think I'm sick. I'm like, this is fucking cool. I like this. This is for
tight.
me, right? Yeah. Like, when I was running a mountain bike company for years, I had my own apparel line. And people would be like, hey, you should make this. Hey, you should make that. And I'd be like, no. And they're like, why? I'm like, because I wouldn't wear that. And they're like, well, you're only going to make clothing you wear. I'm like, yeah, it's my fucking brand.
It's your brand.
Yeah,
Why wouldn't
I'm like,
you?
the moment I start making something you like, it's now your company. Like, no, I'm going to make what I like, and I'm going to invest in myself, right? So, yeah, it's, I don't know. I mean, in the mountain biking space for a while, when I retired, right, from racing, I kind of became an influencer, and this is like
You were an influencer before influencing them.
Yeah, unfortunately. Well, no, I was in one that was cool, right? So, yeah, I had these sponsors who would pay for me to go to events, and I would redline into all my contracts. Like, they'd send me a contract, like, hey, how do you feel about this? And the only thing I would redline in was, I will not try to win any event I attend. And every time they'd be like, that's so punk rock. We love that. That's so sick. And I'm like, great. Well, you just signed a contract that says I don't have to.
You literally said that no matter what.
Yeah, no matter what, I'm fucking getting paid. So, but I mean, these dudes would go to these events. They would try so hard to keep their head down, right? And if you're not first, second, or third, nobody knew you were there. So companies are spending all this money to send you to all these places, but if you're not on the box, nobody gives a fuck. Whereas I'm drinking beers with the crowd, I'm having the most fun, I'm having a hoot with everyone, dude, fucking hitting the biggest jumps, doing the biggest stunts, right? Like doing all the stuff and having a blast while I'm there. So I will get way more media coverage than people who were just there to race, right? So it was like the running joke that like all my boys who were still in it, I was more sponsored than my buddies who were like so committed to it. I'm like, you just gotta stop fucking caring, right? Like, but as soon as it turned to like, I got to do this amount of deliverables a month, and I gotta post this, and I gotta tag this and all that stuff. Then I was like, yo, I'm out, right? So that's when I transitioned from myself and focusing on myself to, hey, I'm gonna build a business so I can just do the things that I want to do anyways, right? And so I've done the time in front of the lens, and I've been the spokesperson, right? And I've been the face of brands and done that thing, but I way rather just stay behind the scenes and put people on and help people build their dreams, right? Because there's so many people with so many amazing companies and amazing ideas and all these things, but they just are missing a piece here or missing a piece there.
Just a little something.
And just need a bump, man. And a lot of people just need help. Like from one entrepreneur to another, right? Like we all need help, man. And
every
it's like,
once in a while, dude, you know?
Fucking every
push
day
up.
I need help, bro. Every day,
Yeah.
right? Every day. So it's one of those things where it's like, if I can just help these people succeed, that's a win for me, right? But I don't need my name up front at all. I don't give a shit about that, right? I just want to see the team win.
It's not a handout, it's a hand up.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
I like
it's not a handout, it's a hand up. I feel like that's also why I've always like kind of been cool, is because I'm the sense of what you just talked about. That's how I am, dude. I'm not here winning first place. Am I at every single event? Hell yeah, I am. Am I showing up every single time? Fuck yeah. But I'm here to shotgun beers with you. We're gonna have a great time. I'm gonna do some cool shit in between, and I'm here to look the goddamn best.
Hey. You're winning that one every time, bro.
And so, like, that's where I'm very blessed to have your support, everybody else's support. Shout out Jeff from Selfless Club Style, Square One Performance, Rebel Reaper. I mean, the list goes on, man. I'm very blessed in that aspect. And I feel like that's, after you saying that right now, it's funny you say that because that's exactly how I feel. It's like networking is the biggest thing.
Dude, the biggest thing. And it's like every time that I've been like, fuck, how are we going to make this month work? How am I going to pay my boys? How am I going to make this work? Bling, bling. Hey, what's up? I got an opportunity, right? And that wouldn't come if I didn't constantly pay it forward.
100%.
And that's the biggest thing that my wife's always telling me is like, hey, like, you got to stop giving yourself away to people, right? And I'll constantly, at the drop of a hat, be like, someone's like, hey, I need help. And I'm like, I'm there, right? And to my detriment most of the times, right? But it always comes back around. And not that I'm doing it so it will come back around, but I just know that like the more positive shit you put out into the universe, the more positive stuff comes back. So it's like you just got to keep like every day just doing the right thing. And like doing the right thing is not the easiest choice. It's usually the hardest choice, right? It's doing the right thing is usually not even the fun choice, but it feels good inside. And the universe repays you for that, for sure.
Every single time, dude.
Yeah.
I was told at a young age, dude, it's crazy. This dude, I used to call him Bible Thumper Mark, dude. Super cool dude. I grew up with a bunch of old head skateboarders that only skated bowls, like just
Sick.
thrashing.
Super sick.
They're getting super smashed on Rolling Rock, and we're blasting Holiday in Cambodia at the top of your lungs. Do some dead Kennedys.
Let's go.
Yeah. So it's like, but this dude sat me down one day because he knew, like, I've always turned up, man. I've always had a great time. I always party. And he's like, Sam, you look. He sat down me and my best friend, and he's like, hey, man, life's very simple as long as you don't make it hard. And what do you mean by that? He said, you work hard, you be good to people.
Yeah.
He goes, and everything else will come. The world will repay you if you work hard and be good to people. You stay solid to who you are, and you continue to try your best. No matter what happens, it's always going to be good.
Yeah.
And, dude,
and
that
even
just
if it's
resonated.
not, you know you did the right thing.
Exactly.
Right? And it's like there's been so many scenarios where I've been burned by people or companies or whatever the fuck, but it's like at the end of the day, like I sleep great because I know I'm always doing the moral thing, I'm always doing the ethical thing, and I'm always trying to do what's best. Right?
Exactly. I had a situation recently, and I'm not even going to go into it, but I tried really hard.
Yeah.
And you know what I can look back on and leave it all with closure is, brother, I tried. And that's all that matters to me, player.
100%.
I did my part, and it's totally okay. And
100%.
That's the biggest thing is, I think, in general with life is as long as you try, man. As long as you try.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to preach for a second.
Hit me.
I feel like the biggest downfalls with society is ignorance and greed. And those are and I can chalk pretty much every failure that I've seen in a person, every failure I've seen in society to one of those two things. It's either you're thinking about yourself or you're too fucking stupid to realize you're thinking about yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
I can stand with that for sure.
Yeah, and there's so many things. It's like, oh, you could have just done the right thing, but you did what you thought was best for you, right? Not for the group, not for the herd, not for your partner, right? And it helps me sleep at night knowing that it's either greed or ignorance. And I really chalk everything up to that, and I try my hardest to be educated, to stay learning, to stay motivated in the pursuit of knowledge, right? And to just always be learning. And like, I think one of the most beautiful things is being proven wrong. Like, my wife will totally attest to this. Like, I like losing. And like most people are like, what the fuck? But like, I genuinely like losing because you learn your greatest lessons from losses. And like, even like games or something like drinking games, like beer pong, whatever. I like, yeah, winning is fun, whatever, right? But like seeing the joy on my friends' faces when they beat me is more of a win to me than me being like, what's up, pussy? Like, I crushed you. Like, obviously, like, I'll knock your fucking socks off. But yeah. I do love seeing the boys win, right? And so it's just one of those things where it's like, I think that's really helped me live in life and let things go. Because a lot of times people do you dirty. A lot of times people do fucked up stuff. And at the end of the day, if I'm like, no, either they're a selfish person and that's okay because they have to live with themselves, or they don't even realize it. They literally have no knowledge of that, man. And like,
people live in their own malice.
Yeah. And my mom gave me this, when I was really young, my mom gave me this whole conversation, right? And it was all about, you know, like, upset people have to be upset with themselves and this and that and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, yeah, sucks to suck.
Yeah.
And she's like, whoa, no, like, don't say that.
That's
like,
not what we got.
That's not what we're saying. I'm like, no. But at the end of the day, like, if someone's a bummer towards you, like, imagine how much of a bummer it is to wake up every day in that body.
That's how I've always lived everything, dude.
Yeah, I'm like, that sucks. Like, dude, you're pissed off every day. Like, good luck with that.
I don't know how you live like that.
Man. Yeah, like, so.
Hurt people hurt people.
100%.
And that's something that always sits with me too, is hurt people hurt people. And once you understand, I feel like once you understand that and gather that, it's way easier to understand. And I've read a good amount of books based on how people's reactions are and things like that, because I'm just very interested in people, dude. I think they're beautiful. As much as I'd love to say I hate people, I think I hate people because I love people.
For sure. For sure. Yeah. Whenever I'm grilled about my political beliefs, I'm like, hey, super, super fucking easy, right? I don't care what you do. You shouldn't care what I do. Do whatever you want to do with your life. Please live your life. Do whatever you want to do. Do not tell me how to live my life. I'm going to do whatever I want to do. You do whatever you want to do. And that fully applies to everyone unless you're harming women, children, or animals. If you do one of those three things, rope around the neck, smell you later.
Gone that fast.
Done.
Every single time.
And it's that easy because everyone can live and prosper together and be successful. But the moment you take advantage of things that can be easily taken advantage of, women, children, animals, I think you should be drawn and quartered in the streets. And there needs to be a stronger representation of that.
100%. And then 100%. I just got a rat tattooed.
Insane.
And then, yeah,
insane.
like,
you saw how hyped I was when
exactly,
I saw that,
dude. My guy. No,
Yeah,
and shout out Zach Rose for handling that too.
Yeah, lynch the rats.
Exactly. And I'm actually gonna get my shoulder done, and it's gonna be our shipwreck, and that's what's gonna tie into the rat, and says it's gonna say loose lips sink ships.
Hey, there you go.
And that's because every dude, I tell people all the time, man. Every room has a vent. And
I've never heard that. I like that.
Yeah, every room has a vent, man. It's whatever you're talking about. And for me, it doesn't bother me too often because I am an open book. But I feel like so many people live in such a secrecy or such a this, that, and the other that they're so worried about judgment from other folks that it's a strange dynamic to me because I don't believe in that. But I could understand it, I guess. Or I not necessarily understand it in my own aspect, but I could see it.
For sure. For sure, because no one wants to be judged. No one wants to be made to feel bad about themselves, right? And there's always a level of self-consciousness, like, of all these things, right? And just existing in your everyday life. But, like, letting go of that is, like, the most, literally, like, the most come-to-Jesus moment where you're like, I actually don't really give a fuck.
Like, what are we talking about?
That's crazy. Like, oh, all right. Oh, I'm sorry you're upset.
It's brought me so far in the Harley industry, dude, because especially with the stunt riding thing, and not to diss a bunch of people in the stunt world, man, but it seems like a lot of people are trying to be somebody else. They're trying to be or look like somebody else, dress like somebody else, live in somebody else's shoes because that's what they want to be, and I get it 100%. Me personally, I think it's great to idolize people, but I also think there's also a harm in idolization because, you take away from your own personal true self.
Dude, inspiration over idolization.
Exactly. That's essentially what I was trying to say.
Because I see people all the time. I'm like, that's sick. That's wicked cool, man. And I always want to give kudos to where I'm getting my inspirations from, And I see stuff all the time. Like, I'm constantly inspired by, like, funky art or old school race cars or skater shit, right? And I see all these things and I'm like, oh, that's really cool. But it's like, no, I'm not gonna try to emulate that. I'm not gonna try to become that, but I'm gonna take a piece of that I like and add it to my repertoire, right? And I'm gonna build it into myself because I'm like, I like that. That is sick, right? And it's not imitation, it's inspiration. And all of the greatest artists learn from somewhere, right? The Michelangelos, the Leonardos, right? They went to school for it and they learned from the greats and they learned from all these things, right? So you have to ingest information and inspiration from all around you constantly. And the moment when you're like, no, this is my idea. These are these, dude, shut the.
Yeah, get the fuck out.
Shut up. Like, oh yeah, okay, sure, great. But it's like being humble enough to realize that there is beauty everywhere. To know that, hey, I can design a clothing line based off of the chairs we're sitting in right now and have it be existentially beautiful and far past what a piece of outdoor furniture would be. But hey, I pay homage to these sleek lines and these opaque tones and whatever it is, right? So I don't know. I just feel like giving credit to the inspiration is so important. And even if it's not on a shout out basis, but it's on an internal basis, and like, hey, I was inspired by this and these things shaped me. And I respect these things. Like, that's huge.
Dude, I could never have said it that well, dude. That's exactly how I feel, dude. 100%. That's actually how I live my life every day, dude. It's I think taking notes versus taking claim is two different things. You can take notes from somebody, but you can't take what they claim. You can't live in somebody else's shoes. Yeah, things are cool because of other people, but that's because those people are cool too. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing. I like that, inspiration over imitation, because it's 100% the truth, and it allows you to still be genuinely who you are, but also give kudos to the ones who did give you the idea.
100%.
And that's so gangster to me. That was a beautiful way of saying it.
Well, more often than not, people perceive these online personas or famous people as these icons, and they're not humans. But dude, they're just people. Right?
100%.
They're just people, and they went through their own growth, and they went through their own learning. They had their own inspirations, right, and all of these things, right. So, like just. I don't know. Don't be a weirdo, right?
Don't be a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, like so many people like try to steal shit from other people and claim shit from. It's like, okay.
Like, wow. Or like, dude, I don't know if you see other things. There's a lot of stuff going on, like the term gatekeeping right now. Seems like that's the most common term. It's like gatekeeping with men right now is the word narcissist for women. Like, it's incredible. And so,
See, I don't know. See, I struggle with that one because I've always wanted to bring surf culture to everything that I do, right? Like growing up, I was a Grom. I was the lowest on the totem pole. Like I fucking shoveled shit. I did what no one wanted to do. Everyone made fun of me. Everyone fucked with me until I grew out of it, right? And then you learn to respect the craft. You learn to respect, like I grew up riding a lot of dirt jumps, mountain biking. And it's like, dude, you'd go to a place and you'd want to ride and the OGs wouldn't even let you ride. Hey, go fix these jumps. Hey, go clean up trash. Do these things, right? And then once you finally can ride, you're like, oh my God, this is amazing, right? And you respect the trails, you respect the whole thing. And then when you see someone disrespecting it, you're like, whoa, like what are you doing, dude? Like you didn't earn your stripes, you didn't come up through it. So I'm a firm believer in like knowing your place on the totem pole and growing through the ranks, right? And like respect is huge. Respect is huge. Respect for the sport, respect for the scene, respect for the people goes so far. And honestly, I think that's one of the biggest draws for me to the Harley scene is this underlying level of respect. Like one of the best quotes I heard was like, vegans are bad people pretending to be good people, and Harley and metalheads are good people pretending to be bad people. Right? And it was just like, you're like, for fucking sure, right?
100%.
Like, you bump into a woman at Sprouts and she's like, you creep, don't touch me. You bump into someone at a Harley event like, what up, dog? Hey, I like that shirt. You look sick. Like, how's it going? What kind of bike do you ride? Right? It's like, yeah. I don't know. Like, the Harley scene has such a core ethos of like, hey, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to do. You're going to do whatever the fuck you want to do. And that's cool. Do that. That's awesome, man. You want to ride a bagger, big wheel bagger? Like, that's cool. You want to ride a little chopped out Dyna? Like, that's awesome. You want to have like a sexy FXR built by Ramjet? You know, I no idea. Right? So, but it's one of those things where it's just respect across the board, right? And it's like, if there's a woman being disrespected in a bar, everyone has a problem with it, right?
Yeah.
And there's some dude just being a dickhead, everyone has a problem with it. And that's how it should be, right? We should hold each other accountable and we should all respect each other. And again, it goes back to the inspiration over imitation, where it's like, no, you were inspired by the scene, so respect it. Don't say, I am the scene, right? Like,
dude, you're a cornball.
Okay,
get out of here. Get out of here,
There's been 20
buddy.
dudes who done your shit before you. There's going to be 20 dudes who do your shit after you. Like, who cares? Right?
No, dude, that is so well said, dude. And that's honestly, you're into the Harley world, but the stunt scene's got a weird dynamic right now, and that's what the biggest thing is.
Bro, remember when we created a sport and then just didn't do anything with it?
Yeah, we would 100%.
Okay, here's a handout.
Yeah.
Who are the guys that are starting to do something similar to it now?
Oh, that's actually been two different things now. It was Drift Across, but the collaborations in Drift Across are gone. Now it's called... Fuck, dude. Man, they're going to hate me for this because some of them watch the podcast. It's ran by Sly Fox.
The Brawl guys?
No, the Brawl guys do their own thing. It's a company called Sly Fox. They do it.
Yeah.
I can't think. They just created a new form of it. I can't think of the name of it.
Okay, well, I don't know what your new form is, but our form's fucking better.
It was a great idea, and I still think it could definitely. We should probably do something with it.
Okay, well, no, I don't want to do shit with it. Let's give it to the masters.
Right.
Someone do this. If you have a racing series, this is what you need to do, right?
Speed and style.
Speed and style, and this comes from mountain biking. This comes from skiing. This comes from other disciplines. Again, be inspired. Be inspired. Don't claim, right? So, this is something that I learned from mountain biking, right? So they have head-to-head racing, but then there's trick jumps in it, and stunting should be the same way, right? So we have a timed racing course that is stuntable, right? So you're drifting corners. You're having to drift to be faster than someone who's just cornering and doing these things, right? But then you have segments of the course in which you can do tricks, and those tricks are time deductions. So now it combines your speed with your style, right? And this was an idea that I was like, hey, let's bring this to the Harley world. Let's do this. We filmed the pilot.
Yeah.
We sent it to Monster, nerds, and of course we shoot for the stars, right? Monster didn't buy, so we said, whatever, we don't care. We're on to the next, right? But no one has developed it. And so what we want to do, what someone should do would be develop something like this, because it's so cool, because you could have a dude who might not be the fastest rider, might not have the most hopped up bike, but if he can do some crazy trick, he's going to be faster than the dude who has some juiced up bike who's literally just barely picking up his front wheel and then on to the next, right? So you see the mountain biking, some dude will double backflip and another dude will do a one-hander, right? But the one-hander guy might be the first one across the finish line, but the guy who did the double backflip wins because his time deduction is greater than it. So, and I feel like it fits so well with the stunt scene, because you guys are drifters and you guys are stunters, right? And it's both sides of the coin, right? And there are people who do a little bit more of one, maybe do a little bit more of the other, but it's, I don't know, I thought it was a fun way to collaborate my roots into a new scene that I was inspired by.
It gives away a lot of opportunity as well. That's what I do think, and I think it was so smart. I'm going to jump on and say it's called Sly GP. That's the new shit. Shout out Sly Fox. It's called Sly GP. It's no longer Drifter Cross. And shout out Alex, shout out Eddie at Sly Fox. Great dudes. I do think the speed and style would be a fantastic idea. I immediately right then over there, we talked about it, and I think it was a great idea then. I still think it's a great idea now, and I think you're pretty ahead of the curve too.
We had 2 12-packs of Gatorade, a red set and a blue set,
Hell
and we
yeah.
set up cones, and you were Derek slayed it, right? And you were on your bagger, and he was on his Dyna, and it was close, right?
Yeah.
And it was close, and seeing the differentiations of stunts and timing and all those things, like, dude.
It was sick, dude.
And it would be enticing
so much fun
for me to watch, and it's something that you could have women's racing, because you don't have to do a trick to compete in it, right?
Yeah.
You can do it with kids on Stasics, right? It is full spectrum.
Hey, we might have to take this off, dude. You might be on. You might be on something.
Or take it again. This is giving to the scene. Like, again, it's not my idea.
God, Ray, you're such a good dude. It's actually incredible. You fucking animal, dude. I love you so much. You're such a good dude. Man, you have a brain that works in incredible ways, man. It's really magical.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Like, genuinely, you've been one of the most solid dudes I've ever met in the industry, and I couldn't be more grateful for our friendship, dude.
Happy to have you over and
Yeah,
chat with your peeps and just
thank you so much for inviting me into your home to do this. Thank you for hopping on the podcast, and thank you for giving the people a chance to really see you, bro, because you do a lot for a lot of other people behind the scenes, and
it's where we want to stay.
Yeah, but this is gonna let people know who my boy Ray is, because you're not just my boy, you're a lot of people's fucking boy, and you can catch my guy at a Ramjet booth good majority of the time. But he still might be behind the booth, dude. You know what I mean? Thank you so much for having me, Ray. And thank you so much for hopping on the podcast. Bro. I fucking love you. And that's what we're going to end it off today. So
love you, brother.
Thank you guys for watching the podcast. Shout out Southwest Club Style for sponsoring the microphones. And stay tuned for more episodes. Have a great night, guys.